Hello, scholars. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and this is your reading class. I am missing you guys a lot. I wish we were back in school, but this is looking like it's going to be our new normal for a while, so we are going to make the best of it. Today, as you can see, I have both Douglas and Douglas Jr. to join us for reading today. And we are going to continue talking about the line of thinking. So if you remember, yesterday we established this line of thinking, which was, you can be strong no matter what. And I'm going to do just a little bit of rereading to remind us where that came from. So go ahead and get out your Esperanza Rising book and open up to page 138. I'm sorry, 137. Okay, we're going to be at the top of 137. It says, Esperanza snuggled close to her, talking about Mama. Mama continued, tomorrow we are going to a church in Bakersfield. After church, we are going to una tienda called Cholitas. Josefina said she sells every type of sweet roll and Mexican candies. They were quiet, listening to Isabel's breathing. In church, what will you pray for, Esperanza? Asked Mama. Esperanza smiled. She and Mama had done this many times before they went to sleep. I will light a candle in Papa's memory, she said. I will pray that Miguel will find a job at the railroad. I will ask Our Lady to help me take care of Lupe and Pepe. Those are the baby twins. And while Isabel is at school, and I will pray for some white coconut candy with a red stripe on top. Mama laughed softly. But most of all, I will pray that Abuelita will get well, and that she will be able to get her money from Tio Lewis's bank, and that she will come soon. Turn the page. Mama stroked Esperanza's hair. And what will you pray for, Mama? I will pray for all the things you have said, Esperanza, and one more thing besides. What's that? Mama hugged her. I will pray for you, Esperanza, that you can be strong no matter what happens. And that's where our line of thinking comes from today. You can be strong no matter what. And obviously we get that from where it's quoted in the book on page 138. But I want you guys to think of some other examples in the book where Esperanza or another character have been strong no matter what. So right now, take a moment and write down as many ideas as you can think of people in Esperanza Rising being strong no matter what. So pause this now and write down as many ideas as you can think of. Okay? Hopefully you have a page full of ideas. My bad, I kind of forgot to tell you how to set your page up, but it should look something like this. So you should have line of thinking with a colon, and then you can be strong no matter what, right there. And then you should have an evidence collection box. And in here should be all of those ideas of how people in Esperanza Rising have been strong no matter what. And I don't know what you came up with, but these are a few of the ideas that I came up with. If you remember way back at the beginning of the book, and you can turn there now in your books, but on page 49, I'm going to take some evidence. And on page 49, Abuelita talks about how her and her family came to Mexico from Spain and survived many hard times. She's talking about crocheting in the mountains and the valleys of our life. But that's an example, not from Esperanza's life, but from the book that is evidence to our line of thinking. So I'll put Abuelita, family, that says Abuelita's family came to Mexico from Spain. There were many hard times. But as we know, Abuelita is still a very strong character. So you can pause if you need more time to write that down. I'm going to erase so that I have more room to write the next one that I thought of. And scholars, next to that one, go ahead and write page 49, because that is where that piece of evidence came from, and we want to cite it to tell people where it came from in the book. Another piece of evidence that I thought of is, remember when Esperanza and her mom are going through customs after they've gotten off the train and they're trying to make their way into America? And Esperanza's mom, Mama, stands really proud and tall and just pretends like she's supposed to be there, even though it's a really scary time. So you could say, Mama stands tall or proud or bravely when the man at immigration, that's what you have to go through to get through a new country, and if you remember, she had reason to be scared because her papers were burned in the fire, so these weren't real papers. She could have gotten told that she had to go back to Mexico. And then this one is from page 83, so add that. If you need more time to write that down, pause the video. I'm going to erase it. Pause now. Okay, and the last piece of evidence I could think of comes from page 104. And on page 104, you can flip there in your book if you want to. It says that Esperanza's mother chooses happiness, not Esperanza, Mama. Even though times are difficult. And for you guys right now, maybe you're showing strength in this time of not being at school, being out of routine because of COVID-19. Maybe you're just showing strength by choosing happiness through difficult times, just like Mama is. So go ahead and write that down in your reader's notebooks as well. Let me check the video to make sure you can see it. Oh, I'm sorry about the little... There we go. Sorry about the glare. Okay. So as we read for the rest of the book, we are going to be continuing to look for evidence of people showing strength. We are officially halfway through the book as of today. We have been learning that good readers identify a line of thinking and focus on it throughout the second half of the book. And today we're just going to do a little bit of reading because this took us so much time. But I'm going to teach you that good readers gather evidence to support that line of thinking. So right now we have 3 pieces of evidence. Today and tomorrow we're going to gather more evidence. I don't know if we'll quite get there today, but definitely tomorrow we'll be gathering more evidence. So if you need more room in your evidence collection box as time goes on, maybe like tomorrow, you can always flip to a new page. One of the words that we're going to come across today is this word tormented. Okay, and tormented has many parts. The tor is a root, T-O-R, that just means to bend or twist. And then the M-E-N-T makes the word a verb. If you look at that definition, it says a word to describe severe physical or mental suffering. So somebody is going to be suffering, and there's the picture I have for you. I hope you can see it. It looks like that man is in anguish or suffering, and that's what the word means. So put this on the board. And we're going to start reading today in chapter 9 on page 139, and we just have a few pages today, and I hope that you follow along well. This chapter is called Las Ciruelas, or Ciruelas. I'm not sure how to say that one, but it means plums. Okay. As they walked to the bus stop, Isabel recited a list of concerns to Esperanza, sounding exactly as Josefina and Mama had sounded earlier that morning. Put Pepe down for a nap first, and when he falls asleep, put Lupe down. Otherwise, they will play and never go to sleep. And Lupe will not eat bananas. I know, said Esperanza, repositioning Pepe on her hip. Isabel handed her Lupe and climbed the steps of the yellow bus. She found a seat and waved from the window. Esperanza wondered who was more worried, she or Isabel. So remember, it's now Esperanza's job to watch these two twins, they're 1 year old, while Isabel goes away to school. Esperanza struggled to carry both babies back to the cabin. Thank goodness Isabel had already helped her feed and dress them. Then she settled them on a blanket on the floor with some tin cups and wood blocks. Then put the beans into a big pot on the stove. Hortensia had prepared them earlier with a big onion and a few cloves of garlic and instructed Esperanza to stir them occasionally and let them cook on low heat, adding more water throughout the day. She stirred the beans and watched Lupe and Pepe play. I wish Abuelita could see me, she thought. She would be proud. Later, Esperanza looked for something to feed the babies for lunch. A bowl of ripe plums sat on the table. They should be soft enough to eat, she thought. She took several, removed the pit, and mashed them with a fork. Both babies loved them, reaching for more after each spoonful. Esperanza mashed another 3 plums, and they gobbled every bite. She let them have their fill until they started fussing and reaching for their bottles of milk. Enough of lunch, said Esperanza, cleaning their faces and gratefully thinking that it would soon be nap time. She slowly changed their wet diapers, remembering all of Josefina's and Isabel's instructions. She put Pepe down first with his bottle, as directed, and when he fell asleep, she put Lupe next to him. Esperanza lay down too, wondering why she was so tired, and she dozed. She woke up to Lupe's whimpering and an atrocious smell. Brown liquid leaked from the diaper. Esperanza picked her up and carried her out of the room so she wouldn't wake Pepe. She changed her into a dry diaper and rolled the soiled one into a ball and put it by the door until she could take it to the toilets. When she put Lupe back down, Pepe was sitting up in bed in the same condition. She repeated the diaper changing. With both babies clean, she left them in the bed and dashed to the toilets to rinse the diapers. Then she ran back to the cabin. A different smell greeted her. The beans! She had forgotten to add more water. When she checked the pot, they appeared to be scorched only on the bottom, so she poured in the water and stirred them. The babies cried and never went back to sleep. Both dirtied their diapers again. The wadded pile by the door grew. They must be ill, worried Esperanza. Did they have the flu, or was it something they ate? No one else had been sick recently. What had they eaten today? Only their milk and the plums. The plums, she groaned. They must have been too hard on their stomachs. What did Hortensia give her when she was a child and was sick? She tried to remember. Rice water. But how did she make it? Esperanza put a pot on the stove and added a cup of rice. She wasn't sure how much water to add, but she remembered when the rice didn't come out. She remembered that when the rice didn't come out soft, Hortensia always said it needed more water. She added plenty and boiled the rice. Then she poured off the water and let it cool. She sat on the floor with the babies and fed them teaspoons of rice water all afternoon, counting the minutes until Isabel walked through the door. What happened? Said Isabel when she arrived and saw the pile of diapers by the door. They were sick from the plums, said Esperanza, nodding to the plate still on the table where she had smashed them. Oh, Esperanza, they are too young for raw plums. Everyone knows that plums must be cooked for babies. Well, I'm not everyone, yelled Esperanza. She dropped her head in her hands and put her hands over her face. Pepe crawled onto her lap, making happy, gurgling noises. She looked at Isabel, already sorry for screaming at her. I didn't mean to yell. It was a long day. I gave them rice water and they seem to be fine now. Sounding surprised, Isabel said, that was exactly the right thing to do. Esperanza nodded and let out a long sigh of relief. That night, no one noticed or mentioned the number of rinsed and wrung out diapers in the wash tub outside the door, or the beans that were obviously burnt, or the pan of rice in the sink. And no one questioned Esperanza when she said that she was exhausted and wanted to go to bed early. And that is all we're going to read for today. What a day for Esperanza. When the book said, I'm thinking about evidence now before we finish the video, but when the book said that Esperanza took care of the house and the babies, even when the babies were sick, I thought this showed a lot of strength. She couldn't just give up. She had to be strong. And this shows me that when times are really difficult, Esperanza has the strength she needs to get done the things that need to get done. And so I'm going to add that to our evidence collection box. I would like you to as well. So you can say Esperanza took care of the babies even when they were sick. Okay, and that says Esperanza took care of the babies even when they were sick. And then go ahead and write the page number of page 143. That's how we cite that piece of evidence. We write the page number. That's all I have for you today, 6th grade. Thanks for watching the video. Look for another one tomorrow.